Hey y'all, it's Carl. Welcome back to the kitchen. It's time to do a little bit of meal prep for the week. I go back to work starting tomorrow, so I'm gonna need some food. Had a request on one of my videos to make some steaks in the Mainstays Turbo Convection oven, so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm actually gonna be making steak and potatoes. Let's get it going. Actually, before I get to the cooking section, let me point out one thing that I did notice on my Mainstays oven today. I haven't used it in a few weeks, and I had it sitting under the counter packed up. And when I pulled it out today, I noticed a little bit of rust. Let's see if we can get this so where you can see it. You may not be able to see it. You see that little spot right there on the extender ring? That's actually a little rust spot. And so I was trying to figure out where that came from, and I found it. So on the base, the plastic base, there's little screws that hold it together, and if you get water in there, I washed this off the last time I used it, and I thought I had let it dry enough, but apparently not. Those rust, those little screws rust, so just be aware of that. It's not really going to affect the performance, I don't think, but just something to be aware of. Anyway, let's get cooking. Alright, so I've got a whole mess of russet potatoes that I cut up. Let's see if I can get a better angle at this. Maybe not. And I just used a potato slicer to make them into French fries. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to try and I'm going to try and do 2 levels to see if I can't bake a bunch of them at once. Like I said, I'm making a meal prep for the week. Excuse me. And if they fall to the bottom, it's not that big of a deal. But I looked in the instruction book that came with the Mainstays oven, and it said for French fries, 450 for about 18 minutes. And then steaks at 375 for about 8 to 16, depending on how you wanted it cooked, I think, if I remember right. So I'm going to start the fries first. And then as they start to crisp up, I will add the steaks in. I'm going to cook the steaks probably a little on the rare side, because like I said, this is for food for the week, so I'm going to be microwaving it and it'll finish cooking them off. And I don't want them to be too overcooked when I warm them up at work. So anyway, we'll get these laid out. I didn't oil them or anything. I'm just going to try and I may spray some vegetable oil on top of them, just to help them crisp up a little bit. I do believe I may have made too many potatoes. But that's okay, right? You can never have too many potatoes. I may bake the rest of these in the oven or just do a second batch. Maybe if I was better at Tetris, I could have arranged them better. But I think that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and give those a quick spray with some vegetable oil. And I'm sure it'll catch the ones on the bottom too. Alright, so let's get this cooking. Hope everybody is having a good new year. Mine's been pretty uneventful and I don't mind that at all. So we're plugged in, set to 450, and we're going to go for, I'm going to set it for 20 minutes and I'll check it about halfway through. Alright guys, the light's on, that means we're cooking. We'll check back in 10 minutes or so. Alright, yeah, so we're 10 minutes in to the cooking time, and I double checked the recipe or manual that came with the Mainstays oven. It said 18 minutes at 450, so we're at about the halfway point, maybe a little bit over. And I gotta tell you one thing I noticed today. Like I said, I haven't used this oven in a few weeks, but the light has not cycled off yet. Does that mean it's not up to temperature? I don't know. It seems to be working. The bowl is very hot. But it's just weird because, you know, if you've seen the other videos or you've seen products like this, you know that the light cycles on and off and that's how it controls the temperature. This one hasn't yet for some reason. And the last time I used it, it worked perfectly. You saw the video of that beautiful roast chicken. So anyway, let's stop this and move the fries around a little bit. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I don't know, that's just weird. So let's see if we can't turn them. This is kind of a mess. And the ones on the bottom, we use the handy dandy tongs that came with it to remove the top rack. And we'll see if we can't give these a flip. They seem to be cooking, I mean, so who knows. And get this rack back in. They are definitely far from done, so put the top back on. We are still at 450, and we'll go for another 10 minutes. I'll keep you guys updated if that light cycles off or not. All right, so here we are. We're right at about 20 minutes. The light still hasn't cycled off. As you can see, some of those potatoes are starting to brown up really nice. So let's see what we're gonna do here. So yeah, I think it may be broken, which is kind of sad because it really worked well. The ones here on the top are looking really good. Go ahead and pop that out. Should probably just block the entire screen with my arm, oh well. The ones on the bottom, they're still on the raw side. Just give them a toss. And we're gonna go for about another 10 minutes or so. So the ones on the bottom are still pretty raw. I probably shouldn't move those up to the top rack. But instead I'm just gonna kind of leave them all down at the bottom and give it a try. I'm really kind of disappointed that this thing isn't working right. Alright, so about another 5 or 10 minutes. I've got my steaks here. I'm not giving up on it, but I've got my steaks here dry rubbed with a little bit of black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Alright, we'll check back on these fries in a few, and then I'll add the steaks. So we're coming up on the 25-minute mark. Timer's about to go off. And yeah, the oven is still cooking. I'm just using a regular kitchen timer. Let's see, they're starting to brown up pretty nice. I'm sure not all of them are cooked all the way. So let's give it a check. Alright, let's see how we did here. So some of them, as you can see here, have some brown spots. They're not cooked. Actually, they are. Some of them are. They're a little bland because they're not seasoned. They're just not crispy yet. Not bad though. So, let me make a plan here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the French fries in. Pop in this rack right here. I'm going to add the steaks. And we're going to turn the heat down to 375, and we're going to cook these about 6 to 8 minutes aside. Don't laugh at the size of my steaks. I'm just a poor public servant, so you know I can't afford fancy steaks, but these are little tenderloin steaks. They'll be just fine. Alright, so about 375. Here we go. See, now there's no light. While the last cooking cycle was running, there it is. So I'm thinking what's happening is the oven is not getting to 450 degrees. Right now, I don't have a way to test that, but just anecdotally, like I said, at 375, it's cycling on and off. So I'm going to assume that maybe it's not getting to 450. So what I'll do in the future is next time I have a chance, I'll go and buy a little oven thermometer and we'll chuck it in there and see what temperature we get to. Anyway, we'll let these steaks cook and we'll check on them in a minute. All right, y'all, excuse me, the first 10 minutes is done and the house smells amazing. One thing I noticed, I guess because I'm not a smart man, my fries are going to get soggy because all the juice from the steaks are dripping down onto the fries. Oh well, they'll get soggy anyway because these are going to be probably microwave meals. But the steak is juicy. You can see the juice is coming out. It is cooking on both sides beautifully. So we'll flip those. And we'll let it go for about another 8 to 10 minutes. And it seems like the light is cycling perfectly at 375. So I'm going to say it may not be coming up to temperature. Stick around, I'll get a thermometer and we'll test that eventually. Alright, check back in a few. Alright, you guys just missed the bell. Let's see how we did. These steaks look actually really nice for, you know, not cooked on the grill. The juices are nice and clear. As you can see, they are done well on both sides. So we're going to pull those off. We'll let them rest. I'm actually going to take the racks out and cook the fries just a little bit more. These may actually be a little bit overdone, but that's okay. I mean, look at them. They look great. So we'll let those rest. Pull these racks off. And I'm just going to stir those French fries around in the steak juices. They probably won't crisp up too much, but we'll get a little nice steak flavor on them from the juice. Like I said, most of this is going to be for a meal prep anyway. I'll be taking it for leftovers. They're not going to stay crispy, but we'll put those in for about another 5 or 6 minutes. We'll turn the heat back up to 450, see if we can't crisp them up a little bit, and then we'll check those steaks. Alright, so we're done cooking. Let me see what the steaks look like cut up. Grab a knife and fork. And there you go. Looks like medium to me. Maybe a little closer to well done, but there's still a little bit of pink in there, so hopefully that'll give me a little cushion for when I microwave them. I'm going to give it a taste. It's not bad. A little tough, but moist, and that's probably just because I baked steak. French fries, they are cooked, not super crispy, but they're like little strings of baked potato. Very good. Excuse me. I'm going to finish packing this up for my lunch. I'll be having steak and fries with broccoli for the week. There you go. That's what I'm going to be eating all week. It's going to be great. And that's it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Check back. I'm going to go get a thermometer and we're going to see what's wrong with this thing, why it's not cycling off at 450. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. God bless.